Yes, diary. I went to the movies a couple of days ago and I was unimpressed by the new behaviors of cinema audiences I haven't noticed before. What do they do now? They talk through the movie. This is the latest trick. Come into the movie with your mates, sit down, have a laugh, and keep talking to them when the movie's on. How rude! How utterly selfish. Anyway, the movie was quite interesting. It was called One Life with, yeah, great story, true story about the uh, liberation, the actions of one man um, who saved the lives of 600, over 600 children in Czechoslovakia from the vile fascist Nazis who were about to invade, and it just shocking. And anyway, he managed to do that, to save them, to organise the evacuation to England against all the obstacles from the usual stupid bureaucrats who can't do anything except robotically enact rules and do not accept that circumstances change cases. So anyway, he overcame all this. But having said that, he was a well-off accountant from a very nice, well-to-do area of the south of England. Thank you very much, with a nice job and everything, which he could go back to when he completed this work. However, anyway, 30 years later, then, I don't know, 40 years later, he someone heard about his story and got in touch with the news media, and there was this awful program in the UK, which I remember I used to watch with Esther Ranson in an awful, dreadful thing called What's Life? That's Life, sorry. And it's all full of funny gimmicks, stupid, fake entertainment, lame jokes, and all the rest of it. But one of their great ideas to get people to come and to advertise their program was to contact this guy and bring him into the audience, and then bring in those children who are now living in England and who'd survived, the 600 of them, and those who contacted the TV audience, and put them in the TV audience. And there was a really amazing moment, I have to admit, when he didn't know he was brought into the audience, and then he was asked to stand up, or he was asked to sit down rather, and all the other people in the audience stood up who were survivors, children he'd saved, and he turned around and he saw what he'd done. Well, that's just a wonderful thing. But, you know, it was a TV, typical media manipulation event made for their benefit, to make money, of course. But you have to admit, it was a wonderfully poignant scene, and a wonderful scene for him individually, I must say. But of course, I'd have to say, I'm still waiting for all those students who I've helped, and indeed, given very cheap classes to, or sometimes free classes to. Maybe someday they'll come back and they'll all be sitting there and stand up and say, "Thank you very much, Tom." Yeah, right. No, you see, there's no parasitic, exploitative media organization looking at my work and trying to make a buck out of it, just like they did out of that gentleman in England who saved all those children. Yes, and so how I'm interested in this idea of anti-natalism, which is people now, a lot of young people I meet, not interested in getting married and having children. Pessimists, basically. And of course, I have to sympathize. I think I'm a pessimist now, to be honest. But I wasn't and I tried to fight it for most of my life consciously, although perhaps unconsciously I didn't fight it. And that's a dangerous thing if you're a parent, because you don't want to pass on the message, even if it's unconscious, that you are negative about the future. But I have to say now, I sympathize with this anti-natalism movement, because just look at what the West, so-called civilization, white mainly, white civilization, has done. And I say this as a white man, so I can't be racist, can I? Yes. What have we done? We have brought up generations of people who are addicted to sugar and salt in our food. Now, how is that responsible leadership and parenthood? It's neither. The whole population of countries like UK, USA, uh, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, all these white places have created their so-called civilized utopia, full of people addicted to salt and sugar and killing them because of it. But no, they haven't missed the economic opportunity to get their bloody doctors to cure them. Oh, they're so smart. Yes. So what we also find now is we have societies, cultures all over the so-called developed world in the West who are slaves, where basically 50% of the population are slaves. They want to be slaves. Their whole purpose in life is to follow somebody. Populism. They want a leader. And it doesn't matter whether that leader is a religious leader, such as Jesus Christ or Muhammad or Buddha or somebody else, or Adolf Hitler or Donald Trump. They don't care. They just want somebody to follow. Yes, and 50% of the population of the people that I can see around me are like that. They are slaves. They crave slavery. They want to be slaves. And these people are bullies with fascist tendencies who want to dominate the other half. They want to bully them, and then given the chance would try to kill them. So I'm afraid it's a cultural war out there against these people. 50% of these people are selfish, self-centered, who will throw you under the bus, their neighbor, as long as it suits them. 50% of the people are like that. Book I read recently by a Japanese Ishiguro about a futuristic dystopia based on Japan, I think, where people, because they're too busy making money, have no time for their children, so they hire robots to look after them. And guess what, folks? The robots turn out to be really very nice people. Much nicer people than the humans who are engaged in their selfish pursuit of material gain. Read it, folks. It's called Clara and the Sun by Katsui Ishiguro. Not surprising, folks, I had another Jungian, or a dream last night, which is easily interpreted according to Jungian analysis. I kept dreaming that I was looking for somewhere to go, and I kept seeing signposts and didn't know which signpost to choose. I was lost. Not probably a surprise to listeners. I love this quote from this book, which I'm reading by Angie Cruz, called Dominicana. Wow, what a book this is. No wonder it won some prize. I don't know what it was, but it's fantastic. Well, no, it's not fantastic, the wrong adjective. It's an extraordinary story of the ordinary life of the average poor immigrant to the United States from South America. It's called Dominicana by Angie Cruz. And it's so amazing. I just can't think of adjectives to describe it. But here we go. Here's the quotation I want for this particular diary entry. Just remember, always act as if you know where you're going, so no one will mess with you. Chin up and no eye contact. Now, she's talking about advice that she's been given to survive in New York when she's taken there by this guy, married at the age of 15 illegally and taken to New York to clean up and look after him. And the advice she's been given is this. But I just find that so amazing, because that is exactly how I would describe many white cultures that I've been in. That's what they do. They say, oh, pretend you know where you're going. That's what the look on the face says. Pretend you know where you're going. Chin up and no eye contact. And that's exactly what Australia's like. Everybody pretends they know where they're going, but they never make eye contact with you. And it's true in many white cultures. How sad is that? Compare that to African cultures or South American cultures where I've lived, where, yes, everybody's busy and all the rest of it, but if you talk to somebody, they don't avert their eyes. They make on contact with you. That's the difference. That's why I like those cultures. The mass media is just appalling. Is the only word to describe them. Television has become unwatchable. Even news programs are just entertainment, designed to get clicks to make money. Fake humor is used between the anchor and the other reporters in order to get clicks to entertain the viewer. Even the sports program commentators, like the test match cricket, it's all entertainment now. Fake humor between celebrity ex-cricket stars making their lame jokes, which we're all supposed to laugh at and be entertained by. That makes us watch. That makes them money. What cognitive dissonance. News programs with disasters followed by stories of violence, then followed by feel-good stories of puppy dogs that have been saved. It's all sensational and nonsense. Even the intonation and stress of the news readers is totally false and fake and unnatural. Trained in their scripts by corporate backroom boys to make themselves attractive to listeners. Forget the news, forget the facts, forget truth, get the clicks,